What's up, everybody? This is Whiskey in the Six. I'm Rob. Doing a quick impromptu just to unbox this beautiful Bunnahabhain that I was able to acquire today at the LCBO. So there are, as I was told, around 5,000 bottles of this. It's the cask strength version. I'm going to call up the chat really quickly so I can see who's here. It says we got 2 people with us. We got Go Habs, and we got Jez, Buddy, we got Duncan, we got Scotty Swing. What's up, guys? Gonna just pop this out. All right, so doing an unboxing. I don't do many of these, but I thought this warranted one just because people are going crazy for it. It is the PX finish Bunnahabhain 54.3%, bottled in 2017, barreled in 2003. We got Daniel Whiskey Throttle Novice. We got Jeremy. What's up, brother? So I was lucky enough to acquire 2 of these for myself, one to open, one to stash like usual, and then I got a few more for my friends. So Jeremy's getting one. And basically anybody who asked me prior to going to pick one up. So yeah, my buddy Marco, Peter White. Peter White was on the lookout for me as well. So I had to, and actually I didn't put these on hold. Someone from Edmonton put them on hold for me and would only let me pick them up if I sent one to him. So I thought that was pretty cool that he did that. So I'm sending one to him as well. So just gonna pour this out right here. Nice healthy Whiskey in the Six pour. That Jeremy loves. All right. Where does he get all the bottles? You know what? It was no flexing of the muscle or anything like that. A friend of mine from Alberta put them on hold for me in my city, believe it or not, and I was lucky enough to go pick them up. Now I know why I can't find any Daniel Singh. Actually, this was available in Alberta before it was available in Ontario, and apparently it's sold out in like 2 weeks. I don't even think it's going to last the weekend in Ontario. I don't know how many bottles were available, but I'm going to say there's probably about 10 cases tops spread across Ontario. And from what I was told, people in Ottawa were lining up for the 8 bottles that were available there. I know that there's bottles available in Muskoka. So if any of you are out there and can pick some up, there's, I believe, 5 at Port Charlotte, I want to say, in Muskoka. So there you go. I'm trying to spread the word a little bit. And then honestly, all you got to do, guys, is call, because it's not going to show up on the website. It's not going to show up when you call Hello LCBO, because I don't know. They just don't know. I don't know how it was distributed this time, but Summerhill is where I got this. That's one of the bigger ones. Cooper Street didn't even get these, which is surprising, because that's, in my opinion, the biggest LCBO, but I guess I'm wrong. Maybe Summerhill, it has more pull than Cooper Street. I've heard nothing but good things about this, and I'm very interested to find out why. So let's see. Definitely get that strong Pedro Jimenez syrupy smell. Interesting. A little bit like a sour sweet note. Go have the same female friend. No. Not a female friend. Yeah, Scotty's saying Summerhill should have guessed. It's weird because I believe Summerhill got 2 cases, and some of them went last night, and then pretty much the rest of them went today. So we'll see. Sounds like a lot of backpedaling. Nice pickups, Rob. Yeah, I'm pretty happy about this. On the nose, it smells just okay right now, but obviously it needs to open up. So we'll see. We'll let it sit for a couple more minutes. We got That's Crazy in the house. Who else do we have? Jason Fisk, how's it going, buddy? Was there no limit to what you could buy? No, and that's another issue with the LCBO is, when I called Hello LCBO, I kind of said that to them. Obviously, I'm not trying to tell anybody how to do their job, and I'm no professional myself. But I said what should happen with bottles like these is they should all go to the warehouse, and you should only be able to purchase them online. One bottle per household, and then this way you kind of get to spread the love, and a whole bunch of people can buy a bottle. Because this way, the first guy that walks in is going to buy a couple cases, and then it's gone. And then, people are scouring Ontario to find them, and they usually only go to the downtown locations, which kind of sucks. So I don't know. I think that's probably the most fair way to do it is if they were to give it all to the warehouse and just sell it online, one per household. Christopher Fallon's in the house. What's up, buddy? Good afternoon from Miami Beach. Very cool. Cheers. All right. My Ancaster LCBO won't be getting any. Yeah, I doubt that. I doubt that most LCBOs will. I called Woodbridge before I left. Apparently, all the flagship stores were supposed to get a case or so. So that means that we have quite a bit of it, which is kind of surprising because this is a heavily sought-after whiskey, especially for people in the UK. And apparently, like I said, there's only 5,000 bottles. I could be wrong about that, but I read that on Whiskey Base that there's only 5,000 bottles of this. And if we got a few dozen cases, that would really surprise me. That would really, really, really surprise me. So this was aged in second fill sherry casks before being finished for 3 years in first fill PX butts. So that's a lot of sherry. And it's 14 years old. So pretty cool, in my opinion. Eric Waite saying hello from California. Whenever I unbox a whiskey, I feel like it's Christmas. Honestly, it is Christmas today for me. This is a bottle that I've been spending a lot of time looking for the last few weeks. And the fact that I was able to get one, I'm really, really happy about. Whiskey Throttle saying, I just checked, all sold out. Thanks, Rob. Daniel, I will definitely send you a sample. Don't worry about it. Yeah, Jeremy saying LCBO actually did something right by getting a good bottle. I'm surprised. I'm surprised that they got this. So this has the kind of nose that I know will need a little bit of time to open up, but I think the palate's going to be better than the nose on this one. We'll find out. Let's see. But it does smell good. It smells like it needs a little bit more time. Woo. That's rich. Super heavily sherried. Wow. Very nice. Very nice. Really, really nice stuff. The palate is much, much better than the nose from what I'm experiencing so far. I'll pour it out right now for you, Daniel. I'm going to pour your sample for you right this minute, okay? Right after I finish this little impromptu, I will pour your sample. He said he doesn't want it if it's from the bottom of the bottle. I might add some water to this. It doesn't need it. I'm just curious to see if it'll open up and change a little bit. Really, really nice. It's oaky, super sweet, a little bit of like a chocolate flavor in there. Go, I was just saying he'll take the backwash. That's awesome. Really, really good. Bunnahabhain is a cool distillery. If you have a good arm, you can hit Jura with a rock from their docks. Very cool. From Eric White. So the cost of this bottle is $173 Canadian. From what I was told, it was a little bit more expensive in Alberta than it is here. So what really bugs me is when people go out, they buy like 5 cases of this and won't even crack one open. And they're only doing it because of what they feel it'll cost on the secondary market. I don't know. If you have something this quality and so many people looking out for it, you should open it. I think you should open it. What do you guys think about that? Jason Fisk is saying that's a decent price. The U.S. secondary on this is 150-ish, Jeremy is saying. So basically like 180 Canadian, 190 Canadian-ish. So it's actually not a bad price here, I guess. Rock one, stock one. I agree. Scotty Swing is saying rock one, stock one. So buy one as a backup, buy another to drink. If you're not the biggest fan of the second, after that first bottle that you take down, then you sell the second one or you trade it. Go Habs is saying, do you think Matthews and Kadri will stick with the Leafs long term? The Habs can certainly use a center. I'm gonna say that Matthews, if he ever goes, it'll probably be in like 5 or 6 years time, probably to the U.S. somewhere. Kadri, I think he's a lifer here, to be honest with you. He used to be a Habs fan though, so that's an interesting question. Whiskey Throttle is saying, Jason Fisk, in actuality, we could pay way less in Alberta store between provinces, so keep the prices higher and make more profit. Again, thanks, Whiskey in the 6, Rob. Daniel's getting all sensitive. I'm not sure why. He never mentioned to me that he wanted this bottle. And I had so many people with feelers out for this bottle that, you know, I have to just pay them back because they were going to do the same for me. .007 Single Malt is saying, life is too short. Drink all your whiskey. I agree. I'm going to add a little water to this. I'm going to say that the nose I'm not loving right now. It's kind of similar to like that stuff that gets a little bit too it's good. It's not even close. I don't even want to finish what I was saying because it's not in the same ballpark as some of the ones that were off-putting. It's a nice nose. It's just I was expecting a bit more on the nose. The palate makes up for it though. Daniel's saying that he is not sensitive in all capital letters. Go Habs is saying Kadri is too good to be a third liner. I think you're right. That's what's going to make Toronto such a powerful team this year. I'm going to add a little bit of water here. I don't want to drown you. Just a drop. There we go. Just a drop. Just got off the phone with the LCBO source. Sold out everywhere. Thanks, Rob. Indeed. Honestly, I drove out early to go get this bottle at Summer Hill. I didn't think I would be able to get it, and I was lucky enough to find it there. Um, 007 Single Malt is saying, when you say sweet and sour, it reminds me of Springbank 18. This is better than Springbank 18 in my opinion. I wasn't the biggest fan of the 18. I think that was one of my least favorite of the Springbanks that I've tried. I'm not sure why. It's just I expected more maybe. Hoagie Bear's in the house. What's up, Hoagie Bear? He's saying, have fun with the bunna. I am. I will have fun with the bunna. Um, Hoagie Bears, yeah. Jason Fisk is saying Leafs need defense though. Yeah. Um, they don't have horrible defense as everybody says they do, but they definitely could use a solid defensive defenseman. Richie Z's in the house. What's up, buddy? Greetings, Rob and Whiskey friends. Working, but we'll listen to the stream. Very cool. Decant out a few samples and let the bottle open up. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Well, I'm gonna pour out Daniel's sample before he has a heart attack, and then I'll probably have another dram of this later on tonight. You know I love you, Daniel. Mm. That is crazy sweet. So, if you're not one to love sweet whiskey, you might not like this one. But I think there's a lot of people that are going to love this one. If I had to give it a comparison, I would say it's similar to. It reminds me a little bit of Glendronach 21-year-old, but maybe a little bit sweeter, a little bit better. That's crazy to saying. I agree with you, Rob. The Springbank 18 is not as good as its younger siblings. I agree 100%. The 12 is way better in my opinion. Whiskey Toronto is doing cartwheels and looks like some male on male wrestling. Not sure. Hoagie Bear saying Springbank's really got batch quality variations, especially with the 15 and the 18, it seems. I think whenever Springbank waters something down to 46%, it's never going to be as good as what it's like 50% or higher, because you lose that mustiness that Springbank is known for. You lose that thick characteristic of the whiskey that makes it like even better. When it gets down to 46, it's a little thinner than most distilleries, in my opinion, at that ABV. So initial thoughts, this is definitely worth the money. I would definitely go buy a second bottle if I could. Um, it's really nice. What's the age on that? I think I said it, but are you asking about the Pinot Noirs or are you asking about this, Jeremy? This one's 14 years old. The distillation date is March 24th, 2003, and then June 21st, 2017, it was bottled. We are on the hunt for some of those now, Rob. Yeah, honestly, you guys got to pick these up. They're good. I might be able to get you a bottle, Daniel. I got to double check with one of my friends, Marco, who you know very well, because he's trying to get some as well. So I'll see what I can do. I'll do my best to get you one, bud. 14, yeah, it's 14 years old, a little bit older than 14 years, 3 months actually. It's really nice. It's gonna need a little bit of time to open up though. And honestly, if you don't love like syrupy, super sweet whiskey, then you might not like this one. This one like is almost like a rum lover's dream. Really nice. Is anybody else having a drink right now? I know it's pretty early. It's 2:17 over here. So I would assume I misspelled Bunnahabhain. Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot the second H. Hoagie Bear is saying last year Bunna released some Cask strength. Kieran May, thank you very much for the super chat, buddy. Really appreciate it. Hi Rob, good stuff, mate. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it, buddy. Kieran, I don't see very often in the live stream, and I guess that's because he's from the UK, because those are UK pounds, 10 pounds he just donated. Thank you very, very much, buddy. I really appreciate that. Very well, in a couple hours, Roy Aquavite will be going live as well. So hopefully I'll see a bunch of you guys in that chat. But yeah, I thought I would do an unboxing with this bottle here because so many people are after it. And I wanted people to know in Ontario that it's available and that they need to call these LCBOs, because for whatever reason, it's not showing up on the site. It's not, you can call Hello LCBO and they'll tell you to call back next week, which is crazy to me, because if I were to call back next week, they'd all be gone. Last night I called around a bunch of stores, and the only reason I knew that this was already hitting shelves is because someone posted a picture on Instagram of it. So I said, I'm just going to take a chance and drive out to Summerhill at 10 o'clock, which is opening time, and hope for the best. And then I was lucky enough that a friend of mine called in advance and put some bottles on hold. So obviously, I can't keep all of the ones that he put on hold, and they're already distributed out, but I might be able to get one to Daniel, hopefully, if I can. Daniel has work to do, and he's trying to watch Jessica Jones. That's probably the better of the Marvel series on Netflix. The rest of them are not that good. The first season of Daredevil was pretty good. The Punisher was really, really good. That season was awesome. The rest of them, not a big fan. Sorry, I didn't finish reading what no backwash, please. Thank you for the super chat, Daniel. I really appreciate it, buddy. He's saying no backwash, please. Don't worry. You would never have to worry about that with me, buddy. Swami, on the other hand, I don't know. Maybe you got to worry about Hoagie Bear, I didn't finish reading the rest of your comment. Hoagie Bear said, is your PX peated? It's not peated at all. There is not even a hint of peat in this. No smoke, nothing. Actually, it would have been nice to get a little bit of smoke in this. I think that's my only beef. But you can't really expect peat in a Bunnahabhain. I have this one here, the Siobana. I don't know. I always butcher that name, but I still haven't reviewed it yet. I will shortly. But I guess this is like one of the few peated ones that Bunnahabhain does. I know that they'll do a special release here and there that's peated, but that's about it. Yeah, that's crazy to say. Punisher is by far the best. I agree, 100%. Whiskey Throttle saying, stop whining. I didn't realize I was whining. Gohaz saying, sloppy seconds. Are we talking about Alicia Cuthbert here? Only hockey fans will understand that joke. Scotty Swing is saying, those dirty French and their backwash. That's not nice. Right, Habs? Eric Wade is saying, is this the same bottle as the Bunnahabhain 14-year-old PX Sherry Finish single malt Scotch whiskey bottled? Yes, that's the exact same one. If so, I can get it here for $99. All right, Eric Wade has just expressed that he can get this bottle for $99 in the US. So those of you searching, hit him up. That's crazy. Not picking up any peat in the Bunna 12. Tasting notes on the box say light smoke. Yeah, I don't pick up any peat in the Bunna 12 either. I should do like a Bunna flight because I got the 25 back there, I got the 12, and I got these two. None of them have been reviewed. The only Bunna I've reviewed so far is the 18. So, and what I plan to do very soon is I'm going to do a best 18-year-old Scotch video. So stay tuned for that because I think some people will be interested in that one because 18 tends to be the range that if people want to spend something to like treat themselves a little bit, they'll go as high as 18, but they tend not to go too much higher than that. And then a lot of people, that's their core range. Well, they'll want to stick to like an 18-year-old as opposed to going lower than that. So we'll see. We'll see how that video works out. Hoagie Bear is saying for a peated 2017 cask strength version, look out for the Bunnahabhain 2004 brandy cask finish. That sounds delicious, but we'll never see it here. I'm surprised that we saw this one here. But that one sounds incredible. Hoagie Bear, if you know where I can get one of those, email me at whiskeyinthe6@gmail.com. Go Habs has never had a Bunna. But I would say start with the 12 because the 12 is actually really, really good for the price. Sell one to Swami. I don't even have one to sell, Mike, unfortunately. So, unfortunately, they're all spoken for. I think there's only one that's up in the air, maybe going to Daniel, unless Marco decides to keep it. So that's it. That's really it. Right now, the way it worked out is this. I got this one, and I stashed one. Marco got two, but I'm going to try to see if he'll send one of his to Daniel. Then Jeremy got one. Peter White got one. Scotch Whiskey Hunter from Instagram got one. And Know Your Whiskey Josh got one from Instagram as well. And the reason I was able to get them is because of the Scotch Whiskey Hunter from Alberta. So I have to help everybody out that I can. Those guys were also looking out for me, right? So I got to help them out. And Daniel, I mean, he's done so much for me that it's only right that I can try my best to get him one as well. That's crazy saying no problem. Oh, sorry. My bad. He was saying, no, Rob, I meant Eric because Swami is going to visit him. Very true. So maybe Eric can pick one up for Swami. Although, I don't know if Swami is willing to pay 100 American for it. We'll see. This is really starting to get a lot better on the nose. Super sweet. Like milk chocolate. Some caramel in the background. Really, really good. It's very hazy. Look at that. That just goes to show you how thick this is. So syrupy. That's crazy saying true, Rob. He's a cheap bleep. I'm not going to disagree with you there. You know him better than I do. Whiskey Throttle saying, you're going to start rumors we can't live up to. I apologize, man. I'm just saying that you're good to me as a friend. I'm not saying that you're, anything else. I just ordered 3 bottles. Well, I feel like I should be saying you're welcome, Eric, because I don't know if you would have ordered those 3 bottles right now unless I did this impromptu right here. Whiskey Throttle is saying to Mike, Swami isn't cheap. He's thrifty. That's too funny. Yeah, this is really good. It needs a little bit of time to open up. What I would suggest is pour out your glass and let it sit for like a half hour. And the reason, like what Ralphie says about a minute per year, a minute in the glass per year in the barrel is kind of BS in my opinion, because something like this that's cask strength needs more. And I've been on for probably about 25 minutes, maybe a little bit longer now. And I poured this right away, and it's just starting to open up now with a little bit of water and whatnot. So I think it definitely needs about a half hour. Bourbon Shenanigans just jumped in. What's up, buddy? Richie's saying, Rob, is that available in the U.S.? According to Eric Waite, it's available near you guys for 99 American. So check it out. I think you're going to like it, Richie. Eric Waite is saying, I have several other bottles I picked up from distilleries, so my Bunna collection will be booming. That a boy. That's crazy saying, poor Swami, not even here to defend himself from all the shots. You're doing most of the shots. Whiskey Throttle is saying, by the way, the bottle was exclusive to Wine and Beyond and sold out in April. Wow, that's crazy. So I think there was probably only about 100 bottles, maybe less, in Alberta, because I know a few people that have them. I know one guy who has varying viewpoints, actually, has 4 in his collection on whiskey base. So he was lucky enough to get a few. Go Habs is saying, don't mess with the Scotch gods. I agree. Are we talking about Scotch test dummies? Or just like the Scotch karma? Is that what we're referring to? Jason Fisk saying, not so Willow Park in YYC got 26 cases. 26 cases. That's crazy. How is Canada getting so much of this when there's only 5,000 bottles? That must be wrong. Peter White had told me that there was closer to 7,000 bottles, so that he might be correct, but even 7,000 bottles is not a lot. So I'm wondering. But Bourbon Shenanigans is saying now he wants to go home and have a glass. I'm assuming a lot of you guys are at work right now. I'm lucky enough not to have to work the summer months during the day anyway. I work teaching kickboxing in the evenings in the summer, but Go Habs is saying Ralphie with an exclamation mark. Is anybody having anything to drink right now? I feel like it's too early for Eric Waite to have a drink, but then again, why not? Whiskey Throttle saying to Bourbon Shenanigans, let's go live and open some PX bourbon. Very nice. Whiskey Throttle is saying boot to the head. What? He's still upset, I guess. I don't know. Hoagie Bear saying, just having 19-year-old Benriach single cask peated Madeira. Very nice. That sounds delicious. Jason Fisk is saying that he will see what he can do about this bottle, I guess. Macallan Fine and Rare, late enough for us Europeans, still dry. Interesting. Well, then, Macallan Fine and Rare, you need to pour yourself a glass, buddy. Because it's what? It's got to be 8:30 there, right? Go Habs is saying, I'll pour a dram if you stay on for another 30. I don't know. My wife might kill me. The kids are, well, one of them's napping. The other one's watching Ghostbusters upstairs. So. Christopher Molly, what's up, buddy? I've got the same bottle, but I'm not ready to pop it open just yet. Yeah. I highly recommend you do because it's delicious. Whiskey Throttle is saying that he's tempted to unbox a new duty free that he just picked up. Well, it's past noon there, so why not, buddy? Why not? You're off until, well, for a couple more days. McAllen Finerera is saying he's on a business trip. Well, if you're in the hotel already, like you said, on a business trip, then why not pour a dram? It's just one dram. I've got the Siobhanok too. Yeah. I'm wondering if this one opened up and got a little bit better. It was not my favorite when I first tried it. I still have a ton left of it. So I'll be reviewing that one shortly. I'll probably do like a quick Bunnahabhain series since I have 4 Bunnahabhains. So maybe that'll be like a week and a half. It'll be maybe one live and then a couple other stuff. Or maybe I'll just film 4 reviews on it and release them in sequential order. Whiskey Throttle saying, so then it's too late for a nooner in Ontario while the kids are zonked out. Well, unfortunately, my son never takes a nap, so the nooners are basically never an option for me, unfortunately. My wife and I are both teachers, but yeah, the son never wants to sleep, so. Go Habs is saying, invite Whiskey Throttle to join in the live. That's not a bad idea. I feel like if I do that, we're going to be on for a while, but that's okay. I'll do that anyway. Daniel, check your email. There we go. Sent. Loch Ness is saying, I'll pour a dram if someone will hire me after I get fired from work. Yeah. I don't want you to get fired, buddy. I don't want you to get fired. Although I can use an intern on Whiskey in the Six and the Sixer kickboxing stuff. So if you're willing to work for Whiskey, then you're hired. There you go. Jason Fisk is saying that little stash in the drawer. Daniel has to go put on some underwear and a shirt since I invited him onto the live channel. Go Habs is saying I'm pouring a Glengoyne 15. That a boy. All right. Well, if we're gonna go another round, I'm gonna pour myself another one. That's good stuff. I'm going to say this. That's really good, and it probably needs to open up, and it's probably not the fairest assessment when you open something up from the first dram and try it and whatever else, but don't go crazy trying to find this. It's not the kind of whiskey that, like, if you don't have it, you're going to kill yourself. You know what I mean? And I don't think anything is out there like that. Is there stuff that's just as good as this out there that's readily available? Yes. Okay. This is really good. Don't get me wrong. This is probably going to be an A+ when I do mark it. And maybe it's going to get better, and then I'll give it an even higher mark. I don't know. But what I'm saying is, don't be as upset as I probably wouldn't have been, or I probably would have been, sorry, if I didn't get this bottle. And the reason for that is every time I ask someone how good is it, they were like very non-specific, just saying it's excellent. And that would drive me crazy because I was kind of like, okay, so does that mean it's better than like what's available on a regular basis? Does that mean it's like the best thing they've ever tried? Like, what does that mean? And is it the best thing I've ever tried? I don't think so. I mean, it's really good. It's going to take me a couple more drams to figure out how good it is, but I like it a lot. But don't go crazy if you can't find it. So there's a new one in the chat, Jelly de Rearde. I don't know. I'm sorry if I butchered that, buddy, but welcome. I go for the 21 Glengoyne. Very nice. Christopher Molly saying, any peat in the PX? No, there's no peat in this one. Whiskey Pilgrim in the house. What's up, buddy? Cheers. Last night in Edinburgh. Bruh. Very cool. Very cool, buddy. Have a good night. Enjoy it. Yeah, so Jelly's from Belgium. Welcome, buddy. Nice to meet you. Nice to see you in the chat. Voice of reason right there, Jason Fisk. Yeah, honestly, man, like, I was going to probably have a heart attack if I didn't get this bottle. And I'm tasting it now for the first time. I'm like, why do I do that to myself? I do it all the time where I'm stressing. I literally had anxiety last night that I thought I wasn't going to have this bottle. I thought I wasn't going to be able to acquire it. And then I open it up. I pour my first dram. Sometimes it blows me away. This time it didn't blow me away. And for that reason, I'm saying don't go crazy if you can't find it. It's really good. It gets a lot better. But I don't know. I think there's a lot better out there. Maybe I'm wrong. So Christopher Molly saying how much? 90 US. This was $173 Canadian. So US dollars, that would be probably $140 US-ish, maybe a little bit less than that. And according to Jeremy, unless this was released at retail in the US, this is going for about 150 on secondary, sometimes more. So I'm not sure. Thomas McRory is saying, evening from Glasgow, I'm pouring a Bunna single malt whiskey society first fill port. That sounds incredible. That sounds excellent. Very nice, Thomas. I love doing these morning streams, or, well, afternoon streams for me anyway, because I get the UK people that are just finishing dinner and that are, unwinding with a dram. It's not every day that I get a chance to do that, so I love having you guys on. It's awesome. Yeah, Christopher Moll is saying, yikes. According to most people, that's a good price for this. And it's selling out as if it was the best price ever. So I'm not too upset with what I paid. Even in Edmonton, Alberta, it was pretty expensive. Jason, do you remember what it was going for in some of the stores in Alberta? I'm wondering if Jason knows. Scotty, so are you talking to me when you're saying so we can be jealous of the whiskey they get? You're talking about the UK group that's on? Eric Wade is saying, on Sunday I'll be posting a video of my visit to Auchentoshan, and I'll make an Auchentoshan and ale using their recipe. Do you ever make mixed drinks with your whiskey? I've had some really great peated cocktails lately. I'm going to be posting, when I get the Glenmorangie Speos, I'll be posting a video, not the Glenmorangie Speos, sorry, I apologize. When I do my Crown Royal Bourbon Mash video, I'll be posting a video of some of the cocktails that the ambassador made for me that day. He made me a Johnny Walker Red cocktail, which was actually excellent. And he also made me a Lagavulin 8 cocktail. I know, kind of blasphemy to pour a Lagavulin 8 in a cocktail, but it was delicious. Jason Fisk is saying that he paid 180 Canadian. Okay, so that's 173 taxes in. All the LCBO prices are taxed in. So that's interesting that it's more expensive in Alberta than it is in Ontario. Yeah, Christopher Molly is saying that the Deanston 10 PX was $50 American. It was $80 Canadian. I think that was a mistake, to be honest with you, because that was definitely the best cask strength whiskey I've ever had for that price range, under $100. There's nothing like that around here. Joseph Hanlon, what's up, buddy? How does it compare to the Deanston 12 PX? Honestly, I'm not sure. I think the nose on the Deanston is a bit better, but I think the palate on this one is a touch better. So it's kind of hard to judge. It depends on what you prefer. If you prefer to nose something for a very long time, you might like the Deanston better. But I will say that the nose is getting much better on this one. So it's already starting to oxidize a little bit. Louis in the house. What's up, buddy? He's saying good morning, evening, all. We got close to 30, which I'm happy with. I didn't really expect to have too many people in here because it is an early stream. Daniel has not accepted my invitation yet. What's he saying? I need to find my camera. For some reason, it won't change to the computer camera. Interesting. Check the settings. Sometimes the settings might be off. Jelly saying, thanks, McCallum, find a rare. I don't know. I missed that conversation earlier. All right. So I'm going to stay on for maybe another 10, 15 more minutes just to finish this dram with you guys. I mentioned it in my last stream with Jeremy that I was going to do an Ontario event. And the reason why I was like delaying in announcing it is because I was in talks with Cam from Edrington Group, who does Highland Park and he does McAllen. And the reason why I was in talks with him is because I wanted to see if they would be willing to basically sponsor the event. And then Scotty and Bart announced that they were going to do an event in October. And I didn't want to step on any toes or anything like that, but I didn't plan on doing it in October anyway. I was planning on doing it in December. So I delayed the announcement. Their event is still going to be very cool. And I'm honestly going to try everything I can possibly do to go to that event in October. I think it's going to be awesome to meet with everybody, to hang out, to have some dinner with some people, that sort of thing. But my thing is going to be like a one-night thing, and it probably only would make sense for people that live in Ontario or Montreal, somewhere in driving distance that even if they spend the night in Ontario, it's not going to be too burdensome for them. They can drive and then drive back. It's not going to be a super long thing. I want to make sure that it's an evening. So whether it's at a banquet hall or there's a really cool spot I found downtown that might be willing to do it. So we'll see. Nothing's set in stone yet. So just know that I'm working on it. And as soon as I know all the details, you guys will know all the details. Eric Wade is saying, the sniper is here. That's all that matters. That's true. Bourbon Shenanigans is saying, sorry, Rob, what are you drinking? I was late. I'm drinking this Bunnahabhain limited release PX finish 2003 cask strength. Good stuff. Very, very good stuff. Christopher is saying the 10 PX is super. It is. It's excellent stuff. The Deanston 10 PX is really, really good stuff. Scotty Swing is saying CC Lounge. I was thinking about CC Lounge, but honestly, the other ones that came to mind were the Caledonian. There's a place called My King and Bay. It's a clothing store, but they have a incredible bar. If you saw my last story on Instagram, it was over the weekend. I was at a World Cup party. They hosted it. That was a lot of fun. And they had an awesome bar, and Cam was serving McAllen there. So if I can work something out with them, it might happen there. We'll see. I don't know. So Christopher Molly is saying that he thinks the Bunna 12 is well made but boring. It's honestly, it's a good dram. It's right up there with most 12-year-olds in my opinion, but I don't disagree. I mean, when you're used to drinking cask strength stuff, it's hard to go back to the 46% stuff and lower. Jelly's saying that he's never had Deanston, but he would like to try it. Scotty Swing is saying, I did see it I was at the Jays game trying to stream the dummies. Okay, very cool. So yeah, honestly, I would love to do it there. That's a really cool place. So we'll see what happens. Daniel, what's going on, man? Are you able to jump in or not? Joseph is saying, good show. Cheers. Take care, buddy. That means you're taking off. Donner Pass Whiskey is saying, hi, special Bunnahabhain. Nice, love the 12. Very cool. And Daniel is jumping in. Are you able to jump in or not?
Yeah, give me a sec to mute you.
Joseph is saying, good show. Cheers. Take care, buddy. That means you're taking off.
Where'd you go?
You gotta mute me, man. But I don't see you.
Yeah, I can't find my Logitech camera.
Whiskey is saying, hi, special Bunnahabhain. Nice, love the 12. So, do you want me to just keep the camera on me then until you figure it out?
Had you muted.
Cheers. Take care, buddy. That makes you taking off. Yeah, you gotta mute it again. You gotta mute me, man. But I don't see you.
Yeah, I can't find my Logitech camera.
Hold on, I'm gonna mute you for a second.
Yeah, mute me.
All right, sorry about that, guys.
Had you muted.
Yeah, you gotta mute it again. You gotta mute me, man. But I don't see you.
Yeah, I can't find my Logitech camera.
Hold on, I'm gonna mute you for a second.
Yeah, mute me.
All right, sorry about that, guys. It's still going on in the background. There's nothing I can do. I don't know why it's not letting me mute him. You gotta mute it again. You gotta mute him, man. I don't see you.
Yeah, I can't find my Logitech.
There we go. Finally. I think that worked. All right. That was insane. All right. Jeremy is saying, thanks for the bottle, brother. You're the man. Getting ready for Foo Fighters. Talk to you there. Be careful downtown, man. There was some stuff going on. Apparently some terrorist activity. So enjoy the Foo Fighters, but be careful. Daniel saying, what the F? Daniel, write down in the chat when everything is good to go, and then I'll unmute you. Doesn't sound like that. All right. So the nose is just getting better and better. Without any water, it's just thick. You don't get that murky color to it, but it's dark and it's really, really viscous. And you really don't need water. This is like the dessert lover's dream, in my opinion. Honestly, it's really, really nice stuff. Jason Coates in the house, a whole sheet, ambitious. What is he talking about? Jason Fisk saying, hold on, I must have missed something earlier. The channel just dropped a sheet of LSD. Honestly, I don't know what portion size is for LSD, so a sheet doesn't really mean much to me. I don't know what that means. Whiskey Whistle in the house. What's up, buddy? Lunchtime for me looks good, Rob. All right, cool. It is really good, actually, Mark. I gotta have Mark on my channel. He's in Manitoba now. There's no excuse. We gotta do it. We gotta hook up on the channel very soon. Hopefully this summer, maybe in the next couple of weeks. Let me know what you're doing next week. Any day next week. We'll try to figure that out. We'll try to sort something out. That'd be cool. There we go.
That should work.
Yay, Daniel.
You can hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah, but I can't get the I go to my settings and it says FaceTime HD camera.
Yeah.
And that's all that shows up, and I can't find where I put my this is what happens when you live out of a box and you're not home for 2 months or whatever, right?
Yeah.
You get home, you still got it all in a suitcase, and I got less than a week before the next job, so you don't really unpack. but I know I saw it and I can't find it. I wrap it up in a microfiber cloth so it doesn't get scratched while it's in transport, right? So,
Yeah.
So maybe everybody just can handle listening to my voice.
Yeah. I mean, you're clear. You're coming out clear, so that's good. What I will say is, have you tried the camera settings in the actual Hangouts, in the actual Google Hangouts?
Yeah, that's the only place I've been in.
Okay.
Where else can I go to my camera settings now on this new computer?
So apparently, a sheet of LSD is 100 doses. Jesus, that's definitely gonna kill somebody.
How you doing, Whiskey Whistle? How close are you, Mark, to the Manitoba border? Since that's where I'm going to be right next door to.
So you're saying the Saskatchewan-Manitoba border?
Yes. Pardon me. He is in Manitoba.
Yeah, and then because
to the Saskatchewan.
Because Ontario and Manitoba also border each other. It's just
right.
I wonder what the drive is to Winnipeg from Ontario. I've never checked that out.
I'm looking.
House. I think I said that, but I don't know if everybody heard me. What's up, buddy? George, have you tried this Bunnahabhain PX? I'm surprised that Canada got so much of it. Because you guys in Alberta had quite a bit of it. 28 cases went to. What did Jason say there earlier?
Jason Fisk. I think he said they had 26 cases. But I just talked to the local guy that I know, and he said, and this could only be Edmonton. It was exclusive to the Wine and Beyond, only in Edmonton maybe. Mm. But these distributors and reps, they make deals, right? Yeah. And sometimes you'll be somewhere like for right now, there are 2 or 3 bottles. Actually, there's been 3 for sure, maybe 4 Brooklady releases that are old. They're all coming out. They're not ancient, but they're older releases. They have Jim McEwen's signature on them because they probably came from another area where they weren't selling. So they're like, well, we'll send them to wherever they will sell, right?
Mark is saying that he's 3.5 hours away from the border to you, where you'll be. How far are you going to be from the border?
Not as far as him. Esterhazy is real close to that. It's only like an hour to the U.S. border and as close to the Manitoba border, I think.
Scotty Swing is saying that Ontario is 20 hours, a 20-hour drive from Winnipeg. That's a hike.
Well, he must drive slow because it can't take that long.
You're saying 20 hours.
Yeah. I'm not looking completely at the chat here. I'm trying to find out why the camera won't work. The one on without it being plugged in, it should still work, right?
Yeah, I still just see your symbol at the bottom there. I don't see your.
Yeah, I don't know where that bloody thing went. That's all right. They only want to see you anyway, you little pretty boy.
I'm gonna try to convince someone to let go of the bottle that they claim so that you can get it.
You can, buddy. But I like the comment you just made there to everybody. That if you don't get this bottle, it doesn't mean the end of your life.
You know what though? Like I've felt that way before. That's why I'm saying it. Like I felt like, oh my God, I'm like I had anxiety last night about this bottle. But then I tried it and I'm like, it's good. Well, I've had stuff that's just as good, if not better. You know what I mean? Like, so like I don't know. It's just one of those things. We get caught up in the heat of the moment and like we can't. I don't know. It's that fear of missing out. You know what I mean?
Yes, I know. So, thank you, George. Said I had a very lovely voice.
You do. You have a radio voice.
Yeah, not a radio face. Yes, I do have a radio face. Actually, in high school, you know the what do they call it when everyone's looking for getting a job? What do they call that when you guys do that at school? Career days.
Career day or career path, yeah.
Yeah, I had that's the 2 things that talked to me the most were the radio stations and so on. But You got to know how cutthroat radio stations are.
So that's I think honestly, like I think most of us that are whiskey fans, whiskey geeks, have the same issue. That's crazy saying that he has that problem, Rob. What I was just discussing about the anxiety about not getting a bottle. Jason Fisk is saying FOMO, so fear of missing out. Scotty Swing is saying that's called an addiction, pal. Honestly, the addiction is not to like alcohol. I don't need alcohol every day. I don't drink alcohol every day. There's 3 days a week minimum that I don't drink any alcohol at all. But it is a little bit of an addiction when it comes to looking up new bottles. The addiction is like in the purchasing. It's the hunt for me. And I think a lot of you guys can agree with that.
Sure it is. We've created that. We have created that. And maybe I shouldn't say we, you and all the other YouTubers.
Yeah.
I've created that. The only guy that always tries to drop it down a notch, I think, and then maybe I sound like everybody else that's a fanboy, is Ralphie. He's always trying to tune it down, like don't get sucked into this marketing and so forth. And some of us say that, but then we're guilty of it. We're hypocrites because we get sucked in anyway.
It's hard not to, right? It's hard not to want to capitalize. You don't want to be the one guy that misses out on that gem bottle. You know what I mean? But this is not the one. This is not the whiskey that's gonna like be the whiskey of all whiskeys. You know what I mean? This is not it.
This would not. There would never be that problem anyway.
Yeah.
No matter what. Before you knew about whiskey, your life was going on fine. And what about all the other people that don't know about it, right?
No, exactly.
I mean, some of the best companies around are like Apple. Yeah. Why did I need to buy a new Apple computer? Because somebody got it in my head that's the best thing for editing. I don't even know how to edit with a crappy computer. Why would a better one make it easier?
I'm about to pour your jam here live.
Oh, I gotta watch that.
I'm about to pour that live.
Glad I can see you. Whoa, watch this guy, see if he drips any on the outside. It's pretty steady hands for a teacher. Whoa, don't leave too much air in there now. Come on, steady. Oh, hold it. Little more, just, yeah. Oh, I need a cigarette now.
That was a little creepy, man. There you go. There you have it, sir.
That is beautiful. Do you have a label maker?
I do. Well, not a label maker, but I'm going to make you a label right here. Oh,
I hope that's not your students' arts and crafts stuff.
No, this is just my disaster of a desk stuff.
I bought a label maker. That's what all the stuff I sent to Swami, I put labels on it, and then and I used the stickers because I was going to send it to him almost as blind samples.
Oh, really? You should send him some Dalmore 18 as a blind sample. Watch him like marvel over how good it is, and then tell him what it is.
Yes. So Macallan Fine and Rare, are you a representative of Macallan's, or are you just a fan of the Fine and Rare?
There you go, Daniel.
That is so beautiful. Look, you got pretty nice handwriting for a teacher.
Not at all. I'm actually like, you would mistake my writing for a kindergarten.
Oh, well, that's all right. Look at doctors. But I think they write it that way on purpose. They're probably taught that.
That's what I was told, yeah. So that's it. That's that. You got your sample coming, and hopefully maybe a bottle with that.
The funny part is I have seen that bottle and I skipped over it several times.
Really?
I have Bunnahabhain 18-year-old.
Yeah.
That I bought because they had it on at a massive sale.
Yeah.
I mean, lots of times we have sales. I missed the big sale they had. I was talking to the spirit buyer for Wine and Beyond and Liquor Depot. That's how I know that it was supposedly an exclusive. But Jason Fisk has said that's not. But I think Calgary is. It shouldn't be, because the guy that I talked to, he used to live in Edmonton. Now he lives in Calgary, right? I think head office wanted him to move to Calgary. But there's lots of that stuff where they'll get something exclusive and it will end up being sold in other stores because they couldn't sell it all as an exclusive. Right? Or they're not they're not selling it. Again, they're not selling it enough.
Yeah.
But they're, if it's sitting in the warehouse for too long, they'll slip a case or whatever out, pallet maybe. Well, what is Willow Park, Jason?
Willow Park's in Calgary.
I know, but who owns it?
I don't know. And
is Willow Park the location?
Is it one of the co-ops? I thought it was one of the co-ops.
So if it's one of the co-ops, then it is owned by Wine and Beyond now.
Yeah, maybe.
The co-op we have up here in McTaggart is no longer a co-op. It's a Wine and Beyond.
Okay.
And so all they had to really do, because those stores were very similar, is change the outside signage.
Callum Fine and Rare answered your question. He said, he's not a representative of Macallan at all. He's got a bottle of the 1968 Fine and Rare.
Nice. See that now that makes me intrigued because of course that was the year I was born. I have a 1968 bottling of family cask as well.
Well, that bottle there, if I'm not mistaken, is probably worth like 20,000 pounds.
Yeah.
If not more.
So let's open it up, right?
Well, he said that's one of his best investments he's made.
Yes, and the same with me. A few things I've opened up, and having met all you guys online in the chats, let alone live, have made me realize that some things I might have to use as a retirement fund.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And that brings back to the fact that we should open up our whiskey and drink it.
Yep.
The
every single bottle on this table is open.
Open.
Every single.
I have that Crown Mash here as well.
Back there, that includes my Bunnahabhain 25, my Palate 83, all these ones. This Grandier over here, that which you guys all know how I feel about. So.
I'm gonna pour a little Crown Royal Bourbon Mash.
Oh boy.
Because I have that. Because I want to revisit the fact that now some people are saying certain things about it, having seen the excitement of Davin DeCurgamo or Jim DeCurgamo with that hat he was wearing. See the nose on that? I'm not sure if it takes me to Pike Creek. Fuck. Pardon my language. Pike Creek or Lot 40, the regular Lot 40. And that's just because of the rye on it. This is what Crown Royal, in my opinion, should be. Crown Royal should be like this all the time. This should be Crown Royal, not Bourbon Mash.
Right.
Because it's high rye. They've got to have. Do you know the Bourbon Mash?
I'm very curious to know what the 13-year-old, that's the only age statement Crown Royal that I've ever seen in my life. And Scotty and Bart have reviewed it.
No, it's not.
I know, in my life, I'm saying. I know.
No, but it's not in your life. You can go buy one, but they're very expensive. And it is not put out by Crown Royal.
Oh, you're talking about that entrapment garbage?
Yes. Yeah. It's a 25-year-old, and it says right on the side where it's from.
Yeah, but I'm saying like an actual bottling from Crown Royal. Like they haven't done that. They used to do a 10-year-old back in the day. But
yeah. And
so,
I don't think like Davin is very fond of the master distiller there. I believe she's a lady, and I think she's phenomenal. She probably is very good at her job. But again, Diageo is a massive company telling them what to do.
Yeah. You know what though? Diageo has lots of companies that release lots of single cask offerings, lots of like different things. So it's not necessarily just Diageo's fault. It's Crown Royal's fault for trying to capitalize on the the market and make as much money as they possibly can. Because Lagavulin is a Diageo project, company. Talisker, same thing. You know what I mean? These are like Brora, same thing. Klein Leash, same thing. So all these like really good single malt distilleries are from Diageo, and they're doing whatever they want. They're doing whiskey their way. So Crown Royal can do the same. They've earned their right to do the same thing.
Sure they have. The one thing about entrapment, and they say finest quality entrapment, which is a trademark name, Canadian whiskey, aged 25 years. And they do right away say it's distilled and aged in Gimli. And it does. They don't hide it. They say entrapped in weathered oak barrels inside the Gimli Distillery, home of Crown Royal. So they're not hiding what it is at all.
No, absolutely. You know, and that's usually, I forget who they've done a few different bottlings from different companies as well, right? The guys that are doing that entrapment.
Yes. Well, I believe Orphan Barrel is owned by Diageo.
That's the one. Yeah. So, and they've done like the rare oath or blood oath or something like that, like all those different ones.
Well, they're also the ones that did the 20-year-old bourbon, Barter House bourbon or Orphan Barrel. Spent 20 years in charred American white oak, but they don't say where it's from, which might not be their choice. It might actually be the distillery. Yeah. It doesn't say where. It's the same as when we're talking about the Scotch Malt Whiskey Society. The reason they have numbers on there isn't because they don't want to tell you what it is. It's the distilleries. Say you can buy this barrel or whatever, but they're not buying it from the distillery. They're actually buying it from brokers, and they're only allowed to say so much for whatever reasons. I don't know the specifics of law.
Yeah. McAllen Fine and Rare is saying that bottle is worth 25,000 euro. Bought it for 1,100 euro. That's insane.
I'll give you 2,200 euro right now. You doubled your money. I'm sound like Swami now.
Yeah.
Poor Swami. That's crazy. You shouldn't pick on him so much, man. You were born in 1968.
George Kaplan is saying the only exclusive bottle he's got is the Kilchoman Cask Strength John McClellan's last pick before he died, Sherry Hogshead. So this Tuesday, it's official. I'm going to Highland Park headquarters in Ontario to choose out of 3 or 4 casks, something like that, the new exclusive to Ontario cask. I'm pretty excited about it. It's in collaboration with the LCBO. This will be the first time that I'm working with the LCBO on any project, and the fact that they're actually bringing in outside influencers is pretty cool, in my opinion, because BC released theirs and they just called it BC Liquor Board Highland Park, whereas the LCBO really wants to like jazz it up a little bit, kind of like New York did with Gotham City. Have you ever heard of the Highland Park Gotham City?
No. No, I haven't. Highland Park Gotham City. What are they basing that off of, or why did they pick that name?
So I guess Gotham City because it's New York City, and they're kind of thinking, you know, like Gotham City is this huge, like, metropolis, and I don't know. Like, I don't know the reasoning behind it. I think it was pretty cool though that they chose that name, and because they chose that name, I was thinking that I would pitch to them. I mean, they might already have their name, and I think they're gonna try to find something associated with Toronto specifically, but I thought that Metropolis would be a cool one because Superman is actually a Canadian invention, and Gotham City is Batman. Metropolis is Superman, and Metropolis would be, I think, pretty cool.
So the interesting perspective to have about all that stuff from way back before you were even, your dad was even in your grandfather's scrotum. You guys have to realize that back then nobody really needed, you didn't need a passport. There were none of that type of stuff. My mother was born in Bangor, Maine, but is Canadian citizen, right? She could have dual citizenship, you know. Back then people used to just come and go and it didn't matter. I live in Canada because we all are North American. So back in the day, the guy that was Canadian that made or created Superman, right? I mean, he really probably resided more in the U.S. than he did in Canada.
Yeah, probably.
But it was free to travel back and forth. We had never had any questions about it. And that goes a lot to do with our booze too, and Windsor, Ontario, let alone. Because that's the only city that really had a border thing where the Americans came over and started making their own stuff, from what I can recollect.
Right.
Company, right, with Harem Walker.
Yeah, no, you're probably right. I just think it would be a cool story to kind of use Superman, like, because the fact that like it's going to be in Ontario only, and the fact that it was a Canadian that invented.
That's absolutely, I agree with you, and it's interesting that the DC Comics went along with the lines of creating fictional cities and so forth, right? Whereas Marvel never did that.
Yeah, Marvel just uses all the regular cities and stuff like that.
Well, Marvel's a little bit easier to follow because they would tell stories, and it didn't matter if it stayed within the whatever line they want to call it. What do they call it in the comic book fantasy world of yours?
Marvel Universe.
Yeah, within that universe, it could vary. It doesn't matter. That story was totally separate from what you remember in the comic books, whereas DC seemed to try to intertwine everything together so close. And back to the whiskey idea, it's the same thing. We try to compare everything to Scotch or maybe Irish whiskey, whoever we think invented it, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it would be a fun play on what New York did. That's all. Donner Pass is saying, is it going to be a cask strength? Yeah, it's going to be a single cask at cask strength as far as I know, but I could be wrong. I don't know all the details. I just know it's happening this Tuesday that I'm going to get to do it.
Did you say it was like Jura?
What's that?
Well, Jura has a thing out called, what is it, Two Kings? Or
I don't know. They're the only ones that I still have yet to. I have one sample right over here of the Superstition. It's a 50 mil actual like.
Oh, Superstition, yeah. That's peaty. I found it to be a little harsh.
Is it? I haven't tried it. I'll eventually try it, but yeah, no, it's I haven't tried any of them, to be honest with you.
Okay, so this is totally different than what you're talking about. It's basically it's called Jura Brooklyn, and it's a tale of two islands. I think it's a bit of a stretch. It's in collaboration with the County of Kings.
I'm gonna just ask the chat really quickly because there's 28 people. First of all, if you guys haven't already, if you don't mind giving me a thumbs up, that would be awesome. The other thing is, if you guys think that pitching Highland Park, the Metropolis idea, would be a cool idea with the whole Superman being Canadian backstory, just give me like a yay or a nay in the chat if you don't mind. I know that a few of you are working, so you're just listening and you're not able to type, but yay or nay would definitely help my confidence as to whether or not I will pitch that to the LCBO and Highland Park on Tuesday. So what are your plans for this evening?
I have no idea. While we're on here, the boss called, so that means that the deadline's probably been passed for the paperwork I have to have sent in.
All right.
He ignores my phone calls all the time, so I don't feel that bad. Yours? You're not. The wife's not mad at you yet? I probably get sucked into watching Roy.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to watch some Roy as well. I'm actually gonna take off in about 2 minutes just because it's awfully quiet upstairs. So I feel like she'd help out with the kids a little bit, maybe.
Or she's found a way to put them to sleep.
Varying viewpoints is saying too much of a marketing gimmick. Most of them are saying yes. I
just read that.
Eric is saying it may be considered targeting or marketing towards children. That's true. You know what? That's those guys. Honestly, the fact that they are actually claiming that this whiskey trooper or Scotch trooper, is targeting children is just ridiculous.
Well, when you say they are saying it, is that not actually one person that decided to single him out? And
yeah, one person, but like the squeaky wheel, right? Like I can't believe people are actually listening to that. Like that's the problem.
I'll tell you what, if the person that did that is in this chat right now and he's ever found out, or they are, it will not be a good day for them.
Yeah, they're gonna get beat up.
Well, I wouldn't say that. They probably will. It just makes no sense at all. I mean, just think about all the other things that are done on the Cartoon Network. In the evenings, you wouldn't let your kids watch the Cartoon Network.
I wouldn't even let my kids watch SpongeBob. Like, there's those things that are happening on SpongeBob, and we're complaining about a guy posting pictures that says right on his Instagram, like, do not watch if you're under the legal drinking age in your city or whatever else. Like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, it's somebody that obviously has bigger issues than anything to do with whiskey.
Oh, absolutely. It's just someone that's jealous. That's all it is. It comes down to jealousy. Yeah. Welsh Toro just jumped in. What's up, buddy?
Hey, Welsh, how you doing? Him and I are both WT.
Yes,
we both get a little confused in the chat when someone says, "Hey, WT." I'm like, "Hey, how are you?"
Whenever I say WT, I'm always referring to Welsh Toro. Whenever I'm talking to you, I say Daniel.
Yeah, but you shouldn't. You should just call me Throttle. Throttle.
That's a creepy voice, man. Tony Evans is in the house. What's up, buddy? Jealous / troublemaker, Jason Fisk. Yeah,
you're right. Jason's good.
100%. Go Habs is saying SpongeBob is the best, and I'm not shocked because he's a Habs fan. So, I mean, his perspective of what's good and what's not is skewed.
Hey, I would let kids watch SpongeBob before I let them watch Teletubbies.
You would let them watch SpongeBob before Teletubbies?
Probably.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. The name Metropolis is not exclusive to comics. Exactly. So that's why I think Metropolis would actually be kind of a cool name, because Toronto is often referred to as a metropolis because, like, it's just all high rises. It's getting huge.
Sure, but they won't see. And I'm not disagreeing. I agree with that statement 100%. Will Highland Park step away from anything to do with Vikings? Can you prove there were Vikings in Ontario, let alone Toronto?
You know what, though? Like, all these single cask offerings are being named by the city or the store that's offering them. So, like, for example, I think in California, their single cask offering is called Bevmo. Like that's kind of how it's been playing out. So, the LCBO is allowed to name it whatever they want, which is kind of cool, I think.
Hey, Tony, how you doing?
Malted in Montreal just jumped in the chat and he's asking me not to delete this live show. I think we're okay.
I don't think he'll delete this one, Swami.
I didn't delete the last one.
Although you might make him, because they were saying on him and That's Crazy were saying a lot of bad things about you, man. It wasn't very nice. I tried to defend you.
I was not saying anything bad about you. That's Crazy said a few things. Yeah. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. There's about 32 people in the chat. I'm going to probably call it a day for today because I don't want to interfere with anybody when it comes to Aquavite's live, which will be happening in about an hour's time-ish, right?
What time is it? I think, well, for me, it's 2 hours, but.
Well, you're 2 hours behind me, but it'll still only be an hour away from now. It's not going to be 2 hours.
Yes, it's maybe. Well, I thought he always started around 3 o'clock, my time.
3 o'clock your time, yeah. So 5 o'clock my time. Yeah, maybe you're right. I don't know. I thought it was 4:30 my time today, to be honest with you, but I'm not.
It might be 2:30. We'll split the difference, all right? Stop arguing with me just because you got some PX. Bunnahabhain. Hey, Sneerson, how you doing? So, well, before I go, I met Whisky Sneerson and his family, and they are a very nice family, very generous. But we did prove a point that the 100 bushels, he likes it and I don't. And even though the neck is different, the color, mine was black wax and his was red, that they're definitely the same whiskey.
Okay.
So I have some research to do on them and a company out of Manitoba, Whiskey Whistle.
Donner Pass is saying he's just getting ready to pour his first Glendronach 12. I don't want to get anybody too wasted before Roy's live, so I'm gonna exit here. But you guys can prime if you haven't already a little bit before Roy's show, and then I hope to see all of you, all 30 or so that have joined in the chat today, in Roy's chat, and we can chat then. I really appreciate all you guys joining. That was an excellent bottle. But again, if you're not able to get it, it's not the end of the world. I'm going to be sending Daniel this lovely sample over here, and hopefully, if all works out in his favor, a full bottle of it as well.
Yummy.
All right.
Yep.
You want to say anything? Do you have anything coming up on your show in the next little while?
I may do a live with a special guest this weekend. I've really got to get a lot of stuff organized. But I do have that new package. I haven't even opened it, but you guys can hear it. It's still in the duty-free bag.
Right on.
I guess my friend had quite the adventure getting it through the duty-free.
Very cool.
So thanks a lot, buddy. Appreciate being on.
Got there, so that's the important part.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Thank you very much. Daniel, stay on the line. We'll quickly chat before we go. And everyone, thank you so much. I really appreciate the super chats. I really appreciate you guys tuning in, and I really appreciate you all. Cheers.